Hawaiians are travelers. We are the people of the canoe. Our ancestors journeyed great distances, navigating by the stars and following the birds of the sky to reach our home. What seems impossible was achieved through a learned awareness of the sky, its cycles, its rhythms. Hawaiian life is full of rhythms as we mark when to fish and when to plant. Even today, modern Hawaiian life is a study of the rhythm and melody of the aina, the kai, and our daily routines and actions. Musicians use these rhythms and melodies as inspiration. And here in Hawaii, one of the greatest examples of this is the musical journey of Brother Noland. Through a career that now spans 5 decades, Noland has been on his Auana, or journey. His songs are all unique, but they share the common fingerprint of being Hawaiian, written from a Hawaiian perspective. And for this creativity in songwriting, Brother Noland is a true master of Hawaiian music.
E ho mai kai ke mai luna mai e o nā mea huna anui o nā mele e ho mai e ho mai e ho mai e ho mai kai ke mai luna mai e o nā mea huna anui o nā mele e ho mai e ho mai e ho mai kai ke mai luna mai e o nā mea huna anui o nā mele e ho mai e ho mai.
When I was really young, we didn't have much, so but I did have my imagination. Yeah, so I think it's vivid. So I use my imagination a lot. Yeah. The roots trace back on my mom's side to Kailua Kona and Holualoa Kona, Moko Kehawe. We piko, as we say in Hawaii, we piko there. Our belly buttons is on the Big Island. On my dad's side, that will probably be the Waimanalo area of Oahu. Grandma and Grandpa, and they came over from the Philippines. Our house was very, very musical and very dance-oriented because Mama was the hula dancer in the family. And even on my dad's side, everybody's pretty musical. So it's a natural order in our household. During the time that I grew up, in the early 60s up to the 70s, there was only one Hawaiian radio station to AM. So very limited, but the families would play the Hawaiian music, you know, like oral translation, you know, passed down from generation to generation. So I grew up in that same environment where, wow, we were little kids and we were just listening to elders singing everything. And the colorful and beautiful thing about the Hawaiian music was every time you would hear it again at a different party or a different family's house, it would be their rendition. Yeah, and it made the music sound so open and flexible, you know, sort of like the waves. Because my mom and dad got divorced and I was at such a young age, you know, 2nd grade, I got moved around a lot, you know, so I was kind of like always on an adventure, you know. All of those things, I think, affected me as a person and the music. Yeah. So once I knew that I had some kind of poetic intelligence, I started to exercise it. You grow up as a kid, you hear about aloha and all that, but you're not really sure what that aloha means. You just know it's like good behavior or something. I started to observe the different households and their different rhythms in the way that they conducted their ohana or their family, and in that I saw it musically, and when you see things melodically, it's beautiful. You have to have that connection with aloha to understand the rhythm of Hawaii. And I had specific teachers too that actually, said, come with me. I show you. I show you how it's done.
Hawaiians have a thing called hanai, which is a loose terminology for adoption, but we just do it in a very family-oriented or ohana way, and that is we just bless another family with another child, and it's usually the most rascal child. It's the one that you bless the other family with. Here, take this one, take that one. You can have that one, here, love them up. So anyway, I was destined to be fostered in an area on the Big Island called Waimea or Kamuela, and that is known as Pakaran country. I was so fortunate to be raised as well up there in that beautiful country, the 5,000-foot level off the slopes of Mauna Kea. I have seen some beautiful sunsets. I have seen Mauna Kea every color imaginable: purple, green, blue, red, with the moon. I mean, just so wonderful. The horses and the cows used to run free, and if the cowboys would release them in a paddock like this section, and I get up in the morning and there'd be like 100 horses in front of us, and they're all grazing, and they'd be there for maybe 2-3 days. Then you get up, and then next morning they're gone, and then fog would roll in for 2, 3, 4 days. And the next time you get up, got all cattle in here. And when we were growing up there on the Big Island, my uncle, his name is Herbert Ako. Some of you might have heard of him. He was a great lawai'a and a great va'a man, or a canoe. Canoe is va'a. And he made paddles, like just elite, beautiful collector's item paddles. And when we were little kids, he used to sit us down on the beach and tell us how to watch the wave patterns. It would sound something like this. He would sing songs about our home, or our home. Boy, get me one beer. Bring the poo-poos. And then you go, Ha'aheo, Ikabali. O kona kai o pua I kalai. And I can still hear his voice sometimes, especially the part, bring me one more beer. And he taught us so much things about the ocean and how the ocean is the Hawaiians' icebox. Yeah, that's where we get all our mea'ai, or our food. And later on, when I got a little bit older and I started recording, I recorded the same song, Kona Kai o Pua, but I gave it the flair, or the Brother Nolanism. Help me out, guy. All right, walk it. Ha'aheo, Ikamalie, O kona kai o pua, Ikalai, Kila kila, O walalai. O ike kai mano a o kona go. Ai o Hawaii na kono Kala I kau I ka makau kau puang Malalai tau mai I luna Kaide I ano na kona Hano hano O kona kai o buai kalai O buai hina no tai tamali Uvai na pai Kamaka ka o bua a o leno Eloa elige atuai. Now this is call and response. O kona kai o bua Ke kai ma oki oki O kona kai o bua Sheshai ma oki oki Ke kai Malino a okona. Don't want you to forget this place. A okona. A okona. A okona kai opua. Ai salai. A okona. Ke kai malino. Que kai malino, que kai malino.
Brother Noland and I share a lot of things in common. Our mothers were good friends. We both love to fish and to malama the aina. We both come from musical families, and we both share the unique experience of living both a rural life and an urban life. For Noland, the contrast between spending time in Waimea on the Big Island and his time on Poor Lane became the inspiration for a life spent in musical and lyrical study of the rhythms of life here in Hawaii. This pursuit gave voice to his larger quest, defining what it was meant to be Hawaiian. But like other Hawaiian musicians, it was his days at Kamehameha schools that launched him towards his musical career.
My mom, who was living on Oahu at the time, said, I want you to come back to Oahu and I want you to take a test. Yeah, and I thought it was my ADD test, you know, so I thought, oh my goodness, I hope I can pass this ADD test. So anyway, I come down to Oahu and they take me up to this, up on the top of a mountain. It was called Kapalama Heights, and it was on a campus. And I thought, boy, this is a big doctor's office. This campus is huge. Yeah, and anyway, I took this test and I passed it. Yeah, and little did I know that it was a test for the Kamehameha schools.
Kamehameha was a real military-oriented school in the beginning, you know, trying to formulate young Hawaiians to be a particular way. You know, a lot of the entertainers, as far as the Renaissance goes, outside of, say, Gabi, for music, yeah, a lot of them were from Kamehameha, right? So, I mean, Kamehameha has that influence, you know, that musical influence for sure, just the song contests, all of that stuff, you know. It was like a cultural uprising. And then all of a sudden there was just this whole boom of figuring out who am I and where do I stand in the struggle. When I was growing up at my grandma's house, I slept on the outside Pune, which was right next to a Britannica encyclopedias. So she would always tell me, go read the encyclopedia. So, you know, I would read, and then that's why I started playing with the words, you know, like kind of like a wordsmith, you know. And then once I discovered that, wow, I could get melodic, yeah, and play an instrument, then I saw the connection. Then all of a sudden it's like, whoa, wow, this whole thing is the rhythm. This whole thing, oh. I understood rhythm, yeah, and timing, and syncopation, and all those kinds of things, so. And not intellectually, yeah, organically, yeah.
I was very fortunate to have a tutu who had a boat, yeah, one of those like a Boston whaler or something, you know, and he was a fisherman, and he used to, you know, when we were growing up, we weren't like really rich, but he was a great fisherman, so he was able to sustain ourselves through fishing, and he also could sell them to all the different hotels. So what happened was we didn't have money to go learn how to swim when we were little kids. Like we couldn't join the YMCA, and train to be a guppy or a minnow and get our pins. We didn't have that opportunity. We had to learn how to swim the Hawaiian way. And the Hawaiian way is your grandpa loads all the kids up on the boat when you're about this high. Yeah, and he takes you out to the second buoy. And he anchors the boat, and then one by one, he tells you to step up. Yeah, and of course, I was a rascal one, or Kolohe. My Hawaiian name is Kaleo. So what he would do is line up all the kids, and he said, "Okay, Kaleo, you first." So I would walk up to him and say, "You know how to swim?" "No." And he'd pick you up and he'd throw you in the ocean. You surface. As soon as you surface, you start swimming to the boat, but you're screaming, "I can't swim! I can't swim!" Okay, you swim to the boat, picks you up, and says, "What do you say, boy?" "I can't swim!" Launches you further. Yeah. As you float to the surface, you're finding Nemo now. Get up to the top. "I cannot swim! I cannot swim!" As you swim to the boat, picks you up. "What did you say, boy?" "I cannot swim!" It's the big launch. And they say it happens in threes. Yeah. As this time as I surface, the only thing I can think of is ding, 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 ding. And as I surface, I go, "I can swim! I can swim!" As I swim to the boat, picks you up and said, "What do you say, boy?" "I can swim!" Next. And I was backing up like my brother Tony was also a prodigy, performing at the age of 14 and 15. And then again, my brother Kaipo, who was a major influence on, I just used to want to follow him and play like him. So, going to the Big Island and moving up there and getting a chance to play some songs that I wrote myself and played in a club in Waimea. I think that was all influential into shaping Brother Noland, So by the time I left Waimea and started to think in my mind that, wow, I want to try and do this professionally. Because I was sort of doing it professionally, playing solo on the Big Island, but it almost no count. It counts when you come to Oahu, that's like the big arena. Yeah, and I remember auditioning for some of the clubs in Waikiki, but I had my ammo, And then, of course, when they said, "Oh wow, yeah, do you want to play here nightly in the nightclubs like that?" I had to have a name. I went the rough and rugged road too, played in nightclubs for 15, 20 years too. This long train running over here. And one of the reasons I played solo in my mind in the very beginnings was I wanted to be able to be self-sustaining, which is my whole thing. I've thought of that. I figure from the time I was a kid, I was on my own, on a walkabout. Yeah, and a lot of things I had to figure out myself. My mom was a kumuhula, or a master in the hula teaching, and my brother Tony Conjugation is also a pretty revered kumuhula here in Hawaii today. He's won the Merry Monarch and done all those kinds of things. So hula and music in our family and the luau's and all that was always just part of our lives. So I was always playing. And I could imitate the old voice. And my mom used to slap me upside the head. If you're familiar with Hawaiian music, the vamp sort of sounds like this. And it's like a kaholo so that the hula dancer can dance. And, again, I was Nolanizing music. So I told my mom, I wrote a song and I changed the vamp. And she said, "Oh, yeah?" I said, "Yeah, I made the vamp like this." And she said, get in the timeout. You better learn about your culture. Right? So she gave me the dictionary and she gave me the Bible. And she said, read, boy. Lock me in the bathroom. So I used to do this. God is he who struggles with God. And that's how I learned about the Bible and stuff. On the other hand, dictionary, open up, I got a supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Yeah, and that's why today I am what I am. A songwriter, a lyricist, and an innovator of music. Bye, 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 poor lane. I'm really gonna miss your face. Your eyes too deceiving for me. I said bye, bye, poor lane. So long, poor lane. I said many a memory ever with you, but your eyes, they make me blue. I said bye bye, poor lane, yeah. Bye bye bye, poor lane. I said tears always fall from my eyes. Oh, to think of the way that we live. I said bye bye, poor lane. So long, poor lane. Oh dear God, I hope that all my friends don't you shatter their dreams. Now don't shatter them, poor lane, yeah. Bye bye bye, poor lane. Oh dear God, I hope that all my friends leave. Don't you shatter their dreams. Now don't shatter them, poor lane. Au revoir, poor lane. Seems that you never seem to change. If everyone could see you, I'm sure they'd say bye bye, poor lane. Au revoir, poor lane. Seems you never seem to change if everyone could see you. I'm sure they'd say bye bye, poor lane. Aloha, oi, poor lane. I'm gonna miss your eyes too deceiving for me. I said bye bye, poor lane. Aloha, oi, poor lane. I'm really gonna miss your face. Your eyes, they lie. I said bye bye, poor lane, goodbye. When I went to UH, I was like taking notes. I was listening to the notes. I was observing the notes. The notes can be people. I was noticing. Then I kind of put it all together, like music placement, like in a recording studio. And then, all of a sudden I have this thing happening. You know, it's a song. So the 2 years that I was at UH, it was so influential to, not only to my music, not even me knowing it consciously, yeah, but also influential on how my character was being shaped as well too. I had good teachers, so yeah, I was really all about style, my own style.
Now just look at if you just look at the titles, right? Speaking Brown, yeah, and the second one's Paint the Island, self-release. They got picked up by a Japan record label, yeah, and it was just so diverse. 1980, I think, or 1981. I must say, John DeMello recognized that as an artist himself. Recognized that already right off the top.
These strangers with different voodoo, do you feel danger when we are near you? Ask us.
I was loving trying to arrange and get people to work together. Yeah, I like to do that, putting them together and seeing if they can play together. And we knew that we would play it, we would push the envelope to the edge. Not everyone would like it, People might even disagree, but I don't know how you can disagree with music. As those things occurred, as all the things started to occur, the whole attention of, this guy's, Ken Thompson became my booking agent. He was a big time booking agent at this time. After that, opening up for John Mayall, and it's just getting a little taste of this and that, taste of this. And then as I got a little bit more independent of myself, like recognizable, and I started to go beyond the reef, started to have a taste of all that. Auana Native was the perspective from someone that's the host culture, yeah, looking out through his or her eyes at the visiting cultures that come in. I had 2 periods of time where I kind of went like low-key and just worked as a bellman at the Hilton Hawaiian Village and a doorman, and I needed that break. Yeah, get rooted again, write some more songs. Come now with me. Have you ever tripped through reality? Come down with me. Come down and see what they've done to Waikiki. Ask me why. Open your eyes. Can't you see we lost our paradise? It's too many people, not enough sand. Can't they see we want our land? And why do I grumble? Concrete jungle in a place where people were once humble. Too much one-way signs. I think they're blind. Can't even recognize a don't walk sign. And here I am. Here I am. In the middle of the sea. You gotta go down to the water. You gotta wash away all your crazy lies. Free yourself, let it go. Tell the world you're glad to be alive. something sacred about the water. You will feel it when you let it touch your body. It's magical, it's miracles all around, a crystal blue design. Ooh, here by the water, we've got nothing to hide, only what's been hiding deep inside. So come on, walk with me, I'll take you to the water. And hold my hand, and I'll lead you to the wonderland. Come on and feel the water. Feel it, feel it. Come on, walk with me, I'll take you to the water. No more Hawaiian style. So you got Tourist Island, and all the things that tourists do, and then you got Are You Native, all the native things do. And it kind of connects to all the traditional stuff that I grew up in my culture, which is the Hawaiian culture. Taking that word native, is kind of like another way of saying primal too. So it definitely was a seed that would feed. Of course, when I write songs, the kauna, or the hidden meaning behind the songs, is each song I'm writing as if it pertains to me as well as to others. 1, 2, 3, go. If I'm gonna write in the English language, it's still gonna have the Hawaiian kauna in it. It's going to have the Hawaiian connotations to it. That's not overlooked. I'm thinking about that. Juice of the fruit, a delight of the tummy. Dance, dance, your body in the tropical sunlight. She's my sweet Asian honey. Juice of the fruit, a delight of the tummy. Oh, dance, dance, your body in the tropical sunlight. I was cruising through the jungle, looking mumbo jumbo, searching for the right one in paradise. And I was in and out of lowlands, walking around with empty hands, searching in the world of wasted time. She my sweet Asian honey, juice of fruit, the delight of the tummy. Dance, dance, your body in the tropical sunlight.
Brother Noland's music is truly unique. He has always looked for an alternative way to play the song, and it was this Nolanizing of songs that led to hits like Coconut Girl and Big Ship, while cementing his place in Hawaiian music as the father of Hawaiian music. His authenticity rings true in songs like Great Hawaiian Man, which is a brilliant acoustic arrangement, or a song like Are You Native, which is arranged for a full band. Noland's music proves time and time again that a great song is just that, a great song, no matter if it's played with a full band or solo on an acoustic guitar.
I think that in songwriting you have to know how music works. And the way I learned, or the way I was taught, was to listen to lots of music and really get beyond just the beat and the way the song goes, but like get into the depth of it, or the web or the network of what was going on. It's kind of like these two things operating inside your body, or the way you wired up. Yeah, the eyes and the ears. Yeah, which is very Hawaiian. Yeah, your maka and your pepeao. And if you can get those two all wired up and interfacing each other, it's like a computer, you know. And I mean, to me, the way my mind works is it interfaces all the time, my ears and my eyes, and I guess it's being controlled by my brain. It's like the hard drive in a computer, you know. And then I think that it's connected next to your heart, or the Hawaiians call it pu'uwhai, right? And then what the heart does is it brings out the emotion. Then your heart is like your software. Well, once I heard notes, then wow, I discovered melody, you know. And so, you know, I attached the harmonica, I attached the ukulele, and I attached the guitar to my body. Yeah, so now my guitar is my laptop. And then I had to learn after that how to make a song. Always just enjoyed so much music, yeah, and I always enjoyed the idea of pushing the envelope and all these different musical colors happening. Yeah, and so that's why I wasn't just restricted to say Hawaiian music. Yeah, but what happened, I was born into Hawaiian music. Yeah, so it's innate, it's like my DNA. Yeah, but what happened is, as I started to be influenced by all of the other music of the world, yeah, it kind of went full circle back to the Hawaiian music. Yeah, and then wow, it's like I've seen all the colors that all the great Hawaiian songwriters were painting. Yeah, but they're painting with a very simple brush, but that allows a lot of space, yeah, to involve all kinds of other riffs or patterns, yeah, flowing within that structure of music or chord movement. Yeah.
No go come back. No go come back. No go come back. No go come back. Hey! Bad things can backfire, don't you know? But when you rise above the fire.
Now you got all your gear. Yeah, you got your hard drive, you got your software, you got your computer or your laptop. Yeah. But you still have to have life experience. What happened with me is that, you know, if you look at my childhood, I was like on an adventure to begin with. I was like on this great walkabout. Yeah, so when I'm doing this walkabout, I'm not just walking from point A to point B. Yeah, I'm observing everything. Too. Yeah, so the great observation, yeah, allowed me to have the experience. And so I think it's the experience that motivates you to document. Yeah, I guess is the way you would say it. And I just happen to document in the melodic language. Yeah, and that is very Hawaiian too. You know, like, oh, put it in a song instead, or put it in a hula or a dance, you know, or put it in an oli. And of course, Hawaii. I mean, there's so much beauty. Yeah, but I feel that I've been so fortunate to travel to many different places in the world too, And there's so much beauty out there in the world too. I guess the songs are simple, the songs are happy. Yeah, try to be joyous. Yeah, and try to lift up to our Creator.
Bad things can make you go the wrong way. Use love, love is strong, love is the only way. And I just wanna let you know, aloha live inside my soul, and only love can truly bring us back. But bad things, they backfire, don't you know? We rise above the fire. And bad things, they backfire, don't you know? We rise above the fire. Yeah, no go come back. 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 All right. Hey.
Weird.
I love to do that. I love to take one or two chords, which is very Hawaiian too, and color it around, and then afterwards it sounds so full. It sounds like this is like an incredible orchestrated piece when really it's only a two-chord structure, And then at the same time, I had that whole period of time, like when I was in college, where I was getting into more of the theoretical things, where wow, I want to play every chord in the world, play every note in the world. I want to make the song with 25 changes, and that's a whole nother approach to music, where you have all of these almost like percussive changes in your chordings, and then it makes everything else move differently too, yeah. And to me, that's just the beauty of music, because when you play it, whether you're playing it this way or that way, it communicates off of people's vibration, and their heart and their minds and everything. They feel it, And when they feel it, that is the universal language,
I wrote this song spontaneously after a basketball game. Yeah, in the back of the gym, and I was in the back with Willie and the Poor Boys, and we were playing the blues, I got the Billy Blues. Yeah, and then I started doing that George Benson thing. And people like that. Then I started doodling around, and then pretty soon I found this melody. And I don't know what happened, man. I wrote a song, and every 3 months till today, I wrote this song in 1979. Every 3 months, I checked the mailbox for my royalty check. This is from a movie called Pineapple Express. It goes like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go! Hey, who take my lady from the tropical island? Who take my lady to the Hollywood scene? Who flashed the money on the body and the red lips? Who put my baby on the shutter power tree? Say goodbye to your coconut girl. Your local boy, say goodbye. She's a coconut girl in a high fashion world. Okay, you guys warmed up now? You all gonna help me out now. I know some of you know the words. Everybody just follow. I said, someone got a pin up in the poster in the bedroom. Lately I've been feeling like I don't have the leg room. Goodbye, coconut girl. To my high fashion world. Take me to the house where the lights are on the wrong night. Take me to the paradise celluloid, because her face is on the cover of a magazine. Got me all shaking like a Jimmy Dean. I wanna see the purpose of the makeup and the skin. Goodbye, baby.
goodbye to your coconut girl. You're looking for to say goodbye. Here comes she's a coconut girl in a high fashion world. Yeah. Nothing like a good campfire song, yeah? Okay, help me out. Here we go. I said goodbye, coconut girl. To my high fashion world, woman, I'm goodbye, coconut girl. To my high fashion world, say goodbye to your coconut girl. You're looking for say goodbye. Here comes she's a coconut girl in a high fashion world. Yeah. Thank you. Today, we don't have the soul that we had back in the day. I think that's why the whole idea of being closer to nature, and for each person, it's at a different level. Because when you get really closer to nature, it's a no-brainer that you get closer to God. I think we're so overwhelmed by technology. We have to include some natural time, yeah, some nature time, yeah, and some child to adult time. And Hawaii, there's no better place than Hawaii in that sense, where you can incorporate, things that you do at the oceans and things that you do in the mountain in a matter of minutes. All those things are some kind of connection, or some idea of what nature is. When you're out in nature, you have the ability, and the opportunity to engage physically and mentally and spiritually with God on a first-hand basis. And out in nature, whether it be the water, the ocean, the land, the forest, or the sand dune, or the stream, I think that you're so connected to God to begin with, that you just have to develop this natural respect. And that's why I like to take and teach children on a little field trip or adventure, so that they can discover for themselves who they are. I think that's why our Heavenly Father created nature, as the original classroom. When I was involved in the Hawaiian movement, I think that was the middle 70s, I was playing this song, Waikiki, Look What They've Done. And I was like the new kid on the block. And after this performance for this Hawaiian movement event, I met Walter Riddy, the activist. I like to say Hawaiian visionary instead. And he asked me, hey, you ever come to Molokai? I'll take you around, Next week, bought a ticket, landed in Molokai. He picked me up and he introduced me into the very bosom of Molokai. Molokai Nui Hina. That means the child of Hina too. So, and he did that by taking me into the bush. And we tracked deer. And I remember the first time I heard a deer call. Oh. And he said, there it is, that's what we're looking for. And so that began my whole experience, the Hawaiian experience, the Molokai experience, which led into the camps and the survival handbook. I felt that the knowledge that I needed to, that I had learned growing up in Hawaii and from all my different teachers was knowledge that we needed to pass down to the next generation. This is the manual. Okay, this is the manual. The manual of the scope of different ideas and the wiring up of my mind, and the way that I see things and the way that I was taught from my elders.
The book is a combination and a conglomeration of 50 years of all of this different knowledge and all of these different teachers that have taught me a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And most of the knowledge that I've received is knowledge that is not knowledge that's on the main path, you know. It's off the beaten path. It's less traveled, yeah, but well more worth it. Even in throwing net, like in the book, there's so much value in throwing the net. Even if you just read the story, right? Like just in that one story, it's so much information, you know, about how to live your life, yeah, correctly. So really, the book is really not a Hawaiian survival book. It's a Hawaiian way of living book. When you come to another island, it's like going to another continent or to another country. You know, you gotta learn how to behave properly. You know, and I think we were taught that by our parents, most of us, to be courteous, to be respectful, you know, to walk with aloha. So, like all the fishing skills and all the fishing places that I go here on Molokai, it was always with someone, you know, until that person said, "Oh, just go. I love to be here." Yeah, and I love the mana, the power, and the spirituality of this place. The elements remind me and ground me. Yeah, remind me of who's in charge, and the beauty of nature too. Yeah. I mean, just the wind blowing in your face, just the sound of the water. It's like that vibe is just omnipresent, yeah, and that omnipresent, that's God. You know, that's the Creator expressing Himself in so many ways. Molokai is definitely one of the encyclopedias on my Britannica Encyclopedia shelf. Yeah, it definitely is one of the books. Yeah, for me, Molokai, not just a stepping stone, but definitely one of the rocks in the Brother Noland wall. Yeah, and it's probably one of the ones that one of the big ones at the bottom. That's the foundation.
karuana kalani elelo Haina kabuang kalani elelo
Brother Noland's Auana has taken him to music's highest heights, but he is grounded by both his spirituality and his practice of the Hawaiian culture. As his career continues, Noland has grown into the role of a teacher and a mentor, and he now works to share his knowledge and experiences with the next generation.
Well, I've been doing kali since I was 12. The kali is the Filipino tradition or side of me, and it's something that I keep very close to the heart. For me, the kali, the way I was taught by my master, Uncle Frank Mamalias, is to keep it very family oriented and to keep it very, as he would say, underground. And so what the kali has taught me too, but it is known as a martial arts or a way of defending yourself during the hard times of the Filipino culture. But it's really taught me how to have rhythm and flow. And I remember Manoy Frank sharing with me that you use the kali as a means and a way to further your music because it's all relative to, like, it's connected by nature. So when I do the kali and when I teach the kali, everything is about rhythm and flow, and smoothness and gracefulness, and they all have to match. That's what music is, Music is different rhythms and patterns and beats and different tempos, and you gotta have syncopation, you gotta have timing, and all those things I incorporated in what I was taught by my teacher, which is called the sayao, or the dance, the 1,000-year-old dance. If I get into a kali dance, then I feel very satisfied and content with my soul. It reminds me of my teachers, and then I have this good feeling. It's very pleasant, besides being physical. And I'm not as physical as I am with the kali now as I am spiritual, because all of that stuff has matured. And I think that I've come very close in my own path, in my own way of doing the same thing with my music. I can move people, I can stir their emotions and their soul with my music. In the younger years, there's a lot more to say, there's a lot more to repeat, there's a lot more notes, there's a lot more chords. And the kali is the same way. The sayao was a lot more intense. So what became 1 through 30 is still 1 and 2. But now 1 and 2 is so polished. So polished and so seasoned. That it becomes what felt to be so vast and so much is, again, very, very simple. I like to equate it to, like, you can catch fish and you can design all kind Pacific fusion cuisine type of dishes, but the best fish is the one you just caught.
pelu lomi mai ahe ono Pokemoni O pelu, the big-eyed cat O pelu lomi mai ahe ono Pokemoni.
If kids or even adults, if they went back to their primal self, what they are, and everyone's different, what they're capable of, what all of our ancestors learned so that they could survive, so that that person could survive today, you know, that would make that person a better person all the way around. It sort of began in the mid-90s maybe, the mid-1990s, where I wanted to develop it more into like a program or a place where kids could go. Because I was already working with Palamo Settlement. You know, I was helping kids to survive in an urban environment. So I was always doing those kinds those kind of primal skills and stuff, because I was always fascinated with that. Yeah. So I was thinking I had already developed a really strong musical curriculum. Songwriting, slack key, ukulele, composition for the DOE, for the state, yeah, for these different entities. So then it was a natural order again to, oh wow, let's see if I can develop all these skills, all these Hawaiian cultural skills and survival skills that I learned. I want to develop it into a program, and that's what eventually led me to training under the tracking project as well. Because I already was working out some of these ideas with Walter Riddy on Molokai. We brought the kids from Oahu to the kids from Molokai. And then we also included kids from mainland US, native kids, to all come together and be in an environment where they all could learn how to live off the land and the ocean. And so that's when I involved myself in the tracking project with John Stokes, where he's kind of got a global perspective of everything and global training, working with all the other native cultures. So that was very impactful in my training to create what I have today in my, you know, from the survival handbook to the Hawaiian Inside tracking camps.
Ama Alavaia Ahe ono Pokemoni. Ama is the mullet. Ama Alavaia Ahe ono
Well, just like tracking, right? Like I was telling you, when I studied with all the great trackers, you know, like when I was working with John Stokes in New Mexico, the way I had to understand what he was trying to show me was I looked at it musically. As we were learning about the tracks that we saw on the ground, and he was teaching it to me, yeah, and I was answering him back in the way of my language. And so what I said, oh, okay, so like those 12 tracks that we're looking at, we're trying to understand the story of what happened, what is it, what size it is, all these different things, yeah? But I said, so then each of those tracks, and let's go and count 12 of them, are like notes on the great staff, right? Notes. And he said, yeah, that's pretty cool. And I said, okay, so therefore, if I get the 12 notes and I chart it out, right? What the way that creature or that being walked, yeah, is his melody. Then that's that song. And inside that song, it's got all the information, or the lyrics is like, oh, okay, he's that size. Oh, he was looking up. Oh, he went that way. you know. So when I teach the kids today, that's what I say. It's like we're looking for the song of this creature. Find 12 tracks. Well, all of the primal skills, already help you to exercise all those perpetual values that we try and teach our kids. They're all in there: perseverance, resilience, patience, calmness, focus, grounding, balance, centering. They're all in those skills. That is the whole reason behind the fire. Yeah, it really empowers you, you know. Once, like, say for instance, once Jenny discovered fire, it empowered her and started to really, choose with confidence what she wanted to do, yeah. If you think for a moment too, like in nature, we have everything we need in nature. Everything was already provided by Keakua, by God. Yeah, and I think that we kind of lost it along the way, where not everybody remembers. Well, we don't speak to. Yeah, we don't speak to things. Yeah, then we don't understand the thing. You know, and if we don't understand something, then we have a fear. We develop a fear for it. And of course, when we fear something, we become defensive. Yeah, first thing we think about is destroying it, so it doesn't harm us. Yeah, but nature is not like that. That's not the way God made things. To be able to enlighten a child or a young mind or heart, yeah, and to see them get it, yeah, is that's like the best reward, you know, or to see the happiness, yeah.
Haina mai kapuana ea kahe ono kuke moni. Haina means my story is told now. Haina mai kapuana kahe ono kuke moni. In charge of the Mora is our elder, George Kahumoku.
But a handful of fish in.
Haina mai kapuana kahe ono kupuke moni. Time to cook.
As I'm doing these things, they're influencing the music as well, right? Because it's like if I'm out in nature, I'm gonna write more natural music, you know, it's not gonna sound so urban, gonna be more acoustic, right? Gonna be more organic.
I know a great Hawaiian man, and made of stone, and made of sand. And as I watch him walk across that lonely beach, I found myself surrounded in the sadness of his eyes. I know a great Hawaiian man. His freedom burnt in sacred land. But I can feel it in his voice and in his hands. And Noland, once I finally understand, I hear his song, it echoes in my heart. I am the child left to carry on. I am tomorrow, but I'm living for today, holding the wisdom that he gave me yesterday. I know a great Hawaiian man. He is a lonely fisherman, last of the breed, coming to an end. I finally realize the reason why I carry on, and I say, sail on, soul of the sea. Spread your wings, carry me. I am the vision, and you are the light. Take me home, just wanna go.
The Maui Arts and Cultural Center is proud to present Henry Kapono, Brother Noland, and John Cruz on the inaugural ride of the Rough Riders.
Working with John Cruz and Henry Kapono. It kind of started with the kokua for the Philippines. Me and Henry were talking, we were waiting for our turn to get in. And he said, man, we should try and do something together, you know, get together and try and play. And I said, yeah, that would be really cool, man. Time for some new music in Hawaii. Yeah, and he said, yeah, you know, kind of raw. So then he kind of said, yeah, you know, like Rough Riders. And I told him, yeah, I like that, like Rough Riders, I like that, you know, and that's kind of how we ended it. And then we made contact with each other next month and said, hey, let's get together down Sandy Beach. So he and me first met down Sandy Beach, and we just started talking about playing our guitars, and we weren't playing anything in particular, but we started talking about life. And he said, wow, what if we got together some other guys? John Cruz came. He came down to Sandy Beach too with his van and his throw net and his fishing pole and everything. So that was funny in itself, because Henry's not a fisherman and I am. We just come from different walks of life. Then we started learning about where we all grew up and our careers and everything. And I think that's a beautiful thing, you know. Henry first asked, so what, you think you guys want to go for it? What are your thoughts? Yeah. And I just said, man, I just want to make music. We said, hey man, we should do some concert or something. Foremost, yeah, above everything, we said, man, let's just have fun with it, you know. We already, you know, have marked our trails, yeah, as individual artists, yeah. So when we get together, let's just have fun and see what we can create.
I remember days when we were young. We used to catch a opu in the mountain stream, round the Ko'olau hills we ride on horseback. So long ago it seems it was a dream. Everybody!
Consciously and subconsciously, as I'm maturing musically and in life, and I'm also getting older at the same time too, like more experiences, all those things sort of like spin. They sort of weave into another way of expressing yourself with less. Yeah. So that was thought out too as well. Yeah. And then constantly making that connection with music as a thread. With the stuff, the Rough Riders, we still try to be organic. Yeah, but we know that our organic is that our harmonies are the 3 guitars and our vocals. But we know that we gotta be able to make that big.
Last night I dreamt I was returning, and my heart called out to you to please accept me as you'll find me. Ke aloha ku home o kahanu, me ke aloha ku home o kahanu, me ke aloha ku home o kahanu.
A musician's career is a journey that begins when music is first discovered. Where it takes you is a result of influences, tenacity, creativity, and curiosity, and the willingness to go on that journey. Brother Noland has been on his Auana, or journey, his entire life. His songs are the postcards sent us along the way, like the great Hawaiian man who wanders the shore in search of fish. My good friend Noland has been on a musical journey. He said goodbye, Pauline. Then he took a big ship sailing on the ocean, and he discovered the Hawaiian man is already home through his songs.
I think that music is the thread. Yeah, it's the thread. And my passion is the web of life. Yeah, and I think that with this thread, which is music, I've been able to weave such a beautiful throw net, you know, and it encompasses all kinds of different aspects of life. And music is the universal language, and music is healing, yeah, and music does communicate. Yeah, so I've been able to take the melodic word and communicate the same things that I have learned. I think I lasted this long in music because I know that there's so much more landscape to discover and explore, you know, and there's enough for everyone. Layer that into like the Aina and the land and the ocean. Like there's so much resources. There's so much for everybody. Yeah, kia kua, God gave us so much. It's just that we don't know how to use it. I just feel that day by day, you know, like every note counts now, you know, every note counts. And again, that's metaphorically too, yeah? Like everything I do, every encounter I come upon, you know, is a lesson and a test of my aloha and also of my connection with God. It's tide oriented, yeah? And again, you know, the beauty of the Hawaiian mind or their ability to observe those kinds of things, yeah, to observe nature and to make that connection. I mean, all of that is just a whole knowledge that is just incredible, how they can tie in the hula with the music, like this, with the ahupua, the land divisions, with the growing of things, with the moon, yeah, all just interconnecting, you know, and you know, original permaculture or you know, organic and all those buzzwords they use today. But to me, the whole thing, it is musical. Yeah, it's this again. It's that rhythm of life, and I say what it does, what it teaches me, and what it does for me is it makes me harmonize. When I'm not touring or I'm not doing all that stuff, man, I'm fishing. You know, I'm fishing. I'm out in nature, or I'm spending time with the family and with the greatest book you could ever read. Yeah, the Bible. Yeah, the Word of God. Yeah, and then making my connection and my prayers and my meditations to Nanai Kikumu. Yeah, at this particular time period in my life, that's all. That's all there is. It's just that. 40 years tells me. But I still got something to say musically. It tells me that it's important for me to continue to play, to show younger people that, hey, you can play as long as you like. You know, you're the limit of your imagination. It teaches me how blessed I am to have that connection, because to me the music is God. The music is God. And so God has allowed me to continue to play it I'll play it as long as I can. You know, no doubt about it. Like it isn't a thing, like it isn't like a career, you know, it's my lifestyle, it's my breath. Yeah, but what excites me and what motivates me and what gives me the energy is knowing that I'm so much grounded with Keakua to seek that wisdom, yeah, the source, the higher source. Yeah? Even if you say it culturally like Hawaiian, yeah? Nanai Kikumu, yeah? Yeah, return to the source, yeah? Or observe the teacher, yeah? This is the teacher. Look at this, you know. It's just like this. This is everything, man, you know? And I'm the music part of the everything.
And this has become one of my gracious hits for so many years, for several decades here in Hawaii. And it's about that story. And every time my tutu used to finish teaching us something about the ocean, he would say, "Boy, turn on the motor. Hey boy, turn on the motor. Come on, boy, turn on the motor. There's a time when the sea gets rough, but the fishes, they just move with the sea. What are you doing, Mr. Man? Every day I watch you move with lightning speed. What you got to do is sit down, relax, act patiently like the fish in the sea. Hold on, hold on, 'cause big ships sailing on the ocean. It's amazing how we learn, yeah? Big ships sailing on the ocean. Tell them that story again. There's a time when the sea gets rough, but the fishes, they just move with the sea. What are you doing, Mr. Man? Every day I want you move and landing speed. What you got to do is sit down, relax, act patiently like the fish in the sea. Hold on, hold on. The fisherman say, big ship sailing on the ocean. Say it again. Big ship sailing on the ocean. We don't need no commotion. Big ship sailing on the ocean. And my papa say, what your papa say? My papa say, what is that? Say, boy, boy who? Boy, you boy. Sailor, sailor boy, sail away. Yeah, yeah. a time when the sea gets rough, but the fishes, they just move with the sea. What are you doing, Mr. Man? Every day I watch you move. Ah, you can't stop moving. Move like lightning speed. What you got to do? What you got to do? Once a year, at least, come to Hawaii. Kick back and sit down, relax, act patiently like the fishes in the sea. We got to hold on. We got to hold on. Fishermen say, big ship sailing on the ocean. Don't you forget it now. Big ship sailing on the ocean. Big ship sailing on the ocean. Big ship sailing on the ocean. Into the sunset.